Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over a new statement that Florida Governor Ron Desantis made today about the Trump-endorsed candidate for governor in 2026, Byron Donalds, and DeSantis made a very interesting statement about this. So, DeSantis began by saying in the headline by the Hill article that Donalds hasn't been a part of the victories they've had there in Florida. Florida Governor Ron Desantis, a Republican, took a swipe at Representative Byron Donalds of Florida Monday as the congressman inches closer to launching his gubernatorial campaign in the state. DeSantis said, "My view is Donald Trump just got into the office. I want these congressmen focused on enacting his agenda. They haven't done very much yet," DeSantis told reporters when asked about whether he planned to endorse Donalds. "They're not putting his executive orders into place. We'll see what they do on the spending. But we have such a narrow majority that to be trying to campaign other places and missing these votes, I think is not something that's advisable at all," he continued. "The reality is we've achieved victories in Florida. We need to start achieving those victories up there," he said. "I think people look at it and say, you got a guy like Byron. He's just been part of any of the victory, or he hasn't been part of any of the victories that we've had over here these last few years. He's just not been a part of it. He's been in other states campaigning doing that, and that's fine, but okay, then deliver results up there." DeSantis made these comments at a press conference announcing Florida's Department of Government Efficiency efforts, a state version of the federal DOGE. The governor and the congressman fell out during the 2024 Republican presidential primary when Donalds endorsed President Trump over DeSantis. While DeSantis and Trump have made efforts to repair their relationship after their primary battle, Donalds has become one of Trump's most vocal surrogates. Trump publicly pushed Donalds to launch a gubernatorial bid last Thursday, writing on his platform Truth Social that Congressman, quote, "would be a great and powerful governor for Florida." Donalds told The Hill on Friday that he has not spoken to DeSantis about his expected gubernatorial run, but he said, quote, "I know we will." When asked whether DeSantis will endorse him, Donalds said, "It's too early for that." Donalds has privately told Florida Republican donors and operatives that he plans to run for governor, but he stopped short of announcing a bid at the Conservative Political Action Conference last Friday. "As for me, stay tuned," Donalds told the conference. So that's what's going on here. And another thing I saw on X I want to bring up was former Congressman Matt Gaetz, obviously a close ally of President Trump and Byron Donalds, and he released an interesting statement responding to DeSantis' remarks. He says, "Man, it hurts me to see this. Governor DeSantis, don't you remember when you, Byron Donalds, and I were working collaboratively to get you elected in 2018? We literally were your debate prep team. And then we worked together under your excellent leadership during your wildly successful transition into power. You and I even tried to muscle Byron into the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida. We thought so highly of him. He only didn't get that job because he came up a little short running for Collier Co-Party chair. Byron is going to miss some votes running for governor. You missed some too when you ran as a congressman. I miss some too campaigning alongside you, and I wouldn't change that for anything." That's what Gaetz put out. So this is interesting for a few different reasons. For one, this is pretty much as vocal DeSantis has been about Byron Donalds, and my immediate reaction when I first read this was it sounds like DeSantis does not like Donalds and does not want to endorse Donalds and would probably prefer another candidate to run, and he would probably endorse him. Obviously, there's still a little bit of bad blood between DeSantis and Donalds, and his statement, I think, kind of echoed through that. So now the question is, on the other side of things, well, what will DeSantis do? DeSantis, I think, really wants, and this is me just speculating here, I think DeSantis would love to see his wife, Casey DeSantis, run for this seat. He probably views her as the best chance at keeping the seat in a DeSantis ally than keeping it away from Byron Donalds. But the statement by Matt Gaetz, I think, is also interesting because Gaetz has publicly expressed interest in running for governor, but this has also been the first time Gaetz has been pretty vocal about essentially saying he would support Donalds. He did not say that, and he has not officially ruled out running for governor, but it does sound like Gaetz is more likely than not going to support Byron Donalds in this bid for governor and not try and run against him in a primary. But on the DeSantis side of things, that remains to be seen, and DeSantis would still probably want another Republican to run against Donalds. But I thought that was very interesting in DeSantis' wording there. DeSantis, without being very specific about what he said, kind of said that he doesn't support Byron Donalds without really saying it. He essentially said that he should be in Congress doing stuff, and he hasn't really done anything to help the people of Florida, which, I mean, that's as much as I pretty much don't like you in politics as you can get without outright saying it. But it is very interesting DeSantis is taking this stance after the President Trump has already endorsed Byron Donalds for a potential gubernatorial bid, setting up yet another Republican primary proxy war in Florida between President Trump and Governor DeSantis. How this all plays out, obviously, we'll find out over the next year or so, but no matter what, they're going to go off against whoever wins in the general election, which is a solid Republican ranking by Cook Political Report and solid Republican by Inside Elections. And I think it's pretty solid that Florida is going to be a safe Republican state in 2026. So it really just depends on who the Republican candidate is. But this is very interesting, and there may be more turmoil in the Republican primary in Florida than in the general election itself. But DeSantis' comments here are interesting, and I'm going to monitor this as things go forward, because this could potentially get very interesting quickly if Casey DeSantis ends up running for governor, if DeSantis is able to convince her to run, or maybe she decides she wants to run. Maybe things could get more intriguing that way, but that's kind of where things stand right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and please remember to click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned, because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.